So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead and let's jump into this next reaction, shall we? Now, Casper, shout outs to you when the Meg devoured an entire island in one night. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and let's get into this video, y'all.
So the first mistake these three made was going into the ocean to begin with. I'm black. Water is to us like combs are to KD.
I probably
Can't relate. I'm a mermaid, you know what I'm saying? Gotta be in the water.
just won't use it.
And they venture off into the thermocline, going through the bottom of the ocean, trying to discover a whole new world. Bro, is this one not good enough? Why are humans constantly trying to find new ways to get us killed? Out of all the ways you can die, car crash, struck by lightning, ice spices music.
I just
Out of all the ways you can die, car crash.
I want to know just how did this happen? How physically were this able to nah, you're a hedgehog. Okay, relax. Okay, relax. How did this happen? Is this California? What state are these plates? Does this look like California? What's going on in Cali, y'all? This is my goodness.
Crash, struck by lightning, ice spices music. Getting eaten has to be the last on my list. They enter the thermocline and see exactly what they thought. That light rod wave stomach, it wasn't the bottom. It was an entirely different world with entirely new species that have never been seen before. And this should have been red flag number one. Why am I trying to discover something that I've never seen before? Oh my god, look guys, it's a dinosaur. But the donut defender turns around and looks at the radar and sees that something that's big and can move fast is coming their way. These boys done found the LeBron James of fish. So she tells DJ like, hey, do you see any signs of anything coming this way? But he's like, no. And he decides to turn on more lights, trying to get a clearer look. But the Meg was getting that King Neptune type treatment, and she decided to take that personally, snatching the rover up in no timing. Got everybody in the control panel bamboozled. Why the hell are we confused? This has literally happened before. So after the rover got turned into a light snack for Rod Wave and devoured, they try and get the
that's literally 2 Rod Wave strays in a minute, gang. Jesus.
hell out of there, and they in the booth giving them a lead.
Like, what did he do besides eat to make y'all this mad?
Directions on where not to go, because the Meg is right on their ass, bumping into them so hard. Shorty in the front seat looking like she about to fly out the windshield. And now everybody is realizing that being anywhere near something that did this to the rover is someplace you might not want to be right now. So the Asian guy looks back up at the radar, seeing that the Meg done turned around again. Bro going in for seconds, that Rod Wave on Thanksgiving type game plan, and they get hit by the Meg again. Got these boys in the back panicking, yelling at her to get the hell out of there. But the Meg done cooked the entire system. So now, like streamers' careers, when Kais and that go live, they can't go anywhere. Danger alert.
Relax.
System. So now, like streamers' careers, when Kais and that go live, they can't go anywhere. Danger lurks at every corner, especially in the ocean. Would have took this as my chance to change career paths. Would have been a plumber that night. But right before the connection goes off, she says that Jonas was right. So because these three are trapped 11 meters under the water, they go to find this guy Jonas, who is an elite diver. But y'all remember when I said this has happened before? Because it has. The doctor and a bunch of randoms got trapped 5 years ago in this exact same way, and just like the time before, Jonas had to save them, but in doing so he sacrificed the lives of the other people trapped down there. And because of this, the doctor went around telling the entire world that Jonas got Forrest Gump tendencies, and that like Kodak Black in any situation, he's mentally unfit to do anything. We cut back down.
Did y'all see this? Did y'all see this? Hey, did y'all see this? Did y'all, man? This man even went as far as throwing a perk up in the air and catching it with his mouth, bro. Like at this point, it's insane. Real crackhead energy, bro. Just insane work.
Like Kodak Black in any situation, he's mentally unfit to do anything. We cut back down to 11,000 meters underwater and the other donut defender works to get the lights on. But meanwhile, the Asian guy is writing a goodbye note to his wife. Bro hasn't even been underwater for a good 24 hours. Nigga done gave up already. They eventually get the lights back on, but she starts realizing quickly that the Meg does not like that. And she just crashes into the ship again, making them fly into the air and crash back down. And this causes Jonas's ex-wife to get injured. And meanwhile on the surface, Jonas has to get that Gucci third leg type checkup to make sure he doesn't have any Fousey tube type tendencies going around in his head. So he leaves to go find his wife. She down there getting minimum oxygen with the 2 donut defenders and they're taking it all up. Trapped in a cell with these 2 fridge protectors is the worst place she can be right now. And now it's clear to me, everybody wants to be a superhero, because earlier that night the daughter of the founder of this entire place left to go save these 3 by herself. And this really had me confused. She knew that Jonas was coming to save them and still went down there. Yeah guys, I called the cops, but I still think we can take the ship-shifting monster, so let's go down this tunnel. So while she's down there looking for the sub, she finds it and tries to tow it, but as she starts counting down ready to fire, she gets hit sticked out of nowhere. A couple more hits like that and the English barrier she already has will become even worse. She regains back control and starts whispering to the people in the control panel that something's hit her. Got Dr. Heller in the back looking like cap. She lying, bro. But it isn't the Meg. As a Lizzo-sized squid slaps all of his tentacles on the glass, wrapping around it and squeezing the hell out of the glider. Got her looking up to the sky, ready to get sent up to heaven with not OJ. And as she's looking up, getting the R. Kelly treatment because the squid's ink is spraying everywhere. The tentacles release, and that can only mean one thing, that the squid is dead. And as she looks up, she sees the Meg with the tentacle in its mouth swimming across the glider. And she's yelling, telling everybody in the control panel, it's a big ass shark down here. Got everybody in the control panel shook, but Jonas looking at the screen like,
Told you, bro. Are you serious? Told you, can I really rock?
So he tells Suyin to get the hell out of there and to turn the lights off because the Meg is spinning a block. But because the squid was squeezing her like an ass cheek, her entire system isn't working correctly and the Meg is about to feast. But in the nick of time, Jonas deploys flares, distracting and making it come after him instead, allowing Suyin to make the escape. She not gonna let you hit, bro. Let it go. But the Meg was like,
but anywho,
he's not worth it for real, swimming right past him. And then a few moments later, he attaches his sub to their sub and eventually saves his ex-wife, but the Meg spins the block again. The first ever Megalodon block spin. These niggas done pissed off an evil prehistoric shark. So knowing that if the Meg hits them while they're attached, they're all gonna die, the Asian guy took one for the team, taking a note he left for his wife and putting it in Queso's pocket and pushing him up there, which to me is way less believable than a prehistoric shark trying to kill them. Bro got the upper body strength of a god. But Toshi closes the hatch and blows it, getting the hell out of there, but he's still trapped down there. So he turns on a light, leading the Meg right to him as he tells his wife he's sorry. Meanwhile, the Meg is swimming straight towards him and just eats him, tasting nothing but General Tso's on the way down.
That's gotta be racist.
Wow. 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 Golly. Well, yeah, that gotta be racist. That's gotta be racist, Casper. Fudge.
There's no way.
As the ship just blows up, turning bro into fried fish food. Now see, nothing at the job interview would have made me say, hey, I can see myself doing this. Would have looked at bro like,
shit, if I do it. Shit, if I do it.
So
this fucking video still makes me laugh to this day, bro. This man had no business with that little ass bottle of Henny just getting that like choked up. Bro.
Doing this would have looked at bro like,
shit, if I do it. Shit.
With this little bottle, bro. Somebody, if there is a foreshadowing video on this, just send it to me, bro. I promise you, that shit would make me laugh, bro.
I do it.
So after they barely made it out to begin with, they plan to find the Meg and capture it. Motherfuckers out here trying to be recognized. Having death by shark on your headstone might not be the best route to take. But while they were actively planning to look for the Meg, she didn't even let them get the chance. Because it's already found them. Because while the little girl is chasing after her toy, she turns around to see that the Meg is behind her, licking her lips, ready to feast on this 8-year-old child. But as As she's getting more and more unrelatable to Stevie Wonder just standing there watching, the Meg takes a chunk out of the building, and that got everybody looking around like, what the hell is going on? And now they thinking a hurricane done ensued. Niggas in Florida heard me say hurricane and called straight PTSD. It's okay, bro. It's over. Maybe. So the mom...
No, that's mean. That's mean. That's mean. That's mean. That's mean. That's a little too soon, gang. That's a little too soon. Cut this out.
Realizes that her daughter most likely getting a Tupac meet and greet and runs after her, eventually finding her screaming, standing in front of nothing. But when they look up, they see bite marks on the entire glass, and as bro realizes that maybe the Meg might have followed them back, a whale swims up and starts tapping on a glass, warning them to get the hell out of there. But sadly, he gets snatched up too, doing bro crazy, turning this shit into a spectator sport, wiggling him back and forth so wild, eventually separating his head from his body. What the fuck? So they seen this and still decided to go after it. These boys clearly trying to have a work day in the sky. The Meg has been killing y'all homies on and off for 5 years straight. There is no even in a score. So clearly Jonas is the only one in Mono 1 with a working brain right now, because he's telling them to let's find it and kill it. But she says to explore non-lethal options first. Fuck are you gonna do? Tase it to death? How do you non-lethally stop a 75-foot rod wave sized shark? It would have been bring my fucking rocket launcher to work day. So they get an alert that 20 miles away the Meg is on a killing spree, and when they arrive they see other dead sharks, but what they don't see is the shark poachers that were there before. I'm crying. A prehistoric shark that got back for her peoples. Niggas done found the Malcolm X of sharks, pulling an arm out of the water, and this got Suyin in disarray, thinking nah, maybe we should explore those lethal options now. But instead they decided to do that Conor McGregor method instead. So Jonas goes to swim to the Meg. Clearly this man is trying to die. See how no one asked a black guy to do this? I'm all for rooting for the underdog. I mean, hey, I had Mike Tyson in his Jake Paul fight, and bro was wheelchair ridden 2 years ago. Nigga knees was hitting that no table at Thanksgiving pose. But this is something I just can't get behind, and that's because sharks can feel sudden movement. Motherfuckers out here feeling vibrations like Daredevil. Whoever made these animals clearly wasn't looking after the well-being of humans, but because of his elite sneaking, he creeps up on a Meg, but she's right in front of him. Bro got the meanest jump scare of all time, and while he's scared and about to run away, he locks back in, shooting a Meg with the tracker. But y'all remember how I said the Meg can feel vibrations? You probably think they were smart enough to not use the winch to reel him in, right? Wrong. Because these dumbasses start to reel him in with the winch, and this done perked up the Meg's ears as she goes swimming straight towards him. Man, this is a scary sight. All bro can do is swim away, hoping and praying that the Meg doesn't catch him. They pull him in using the winch in the nick of time, making the Meg miss 2 bites. And as they are dipping him in the water like Patrick in that one episode he was trying to save SpongeBob, the Meg disappears. But she was out there trolling, popping up out of nowhere, and they pull him in the nick of time again, saving him from becoming shark food. She didn't even want to eat bro for real, and I understand. He's British. You see what they be eating. She would have
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't even want to be the person to say it. I didn't want to be the person to say it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
understand. He's British. You see what they
I'm sorry. Oh my God. Listen, for any of the people that's in the UK that watch me, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance, but I listen, like, you know, the whole, you know, the eggs and beans and toast. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. This don't even look appetizing. I don't. Hey, like I said, rare combo and J Stray. Damn. Damn. I listen. He said it, not me. You know what I mean? I'm an innocent bystander in this. Me. You know what I'm saying?
they be eating, she would have been on a toilet fighting demons. So a few moments later, they are still trying to capture and or kill the Meg. But Jonas is tired of risking his life for these niggas. Y'all hired me to do one job. Why the hell am I still here? So instead, Suyin goes down to poison it, trying to keep it from building up a veto type kill streak on water. If they was actually smart, they throw Magic Johnson ass down there and let it feast on bro. The Meg would be dead.
Wow. Jesus, crazy straight.
in seconds.
Wow.
So while she's down there, they throw down some of Aisha Curry's food, trying to lead the Meg right to her. Man, that was the wrong thing to throw. That shit gonna contaminate the whole ocean. But her first mistake was thinking this baby ass harpoon would actually do something to the Meg. These boys out here using these Neolithic ass weapons to defeat a 75-foot shark. As the Meg just crashes into the tank, got her bouncing around in there type crazy. And after the Meg stops shaking her like a bag of Skittles, she just stops. And as Su Yin gets ready to shoot her in the eye, the Meg just swims away. Got her in there looking confused, wondering why I didn't want to get shot. Bitch think the Meg is Lil Wayne. And when she turns around, the Meg appears again.
I don't even want to go back to that. I don't want to go back. Wow. Wow, that's insane. Come here. Come. Up. Up. There you go. Damn. Like, Jesus. Jesus, the jokes. Boy, these strays is getting deadly.
Again, fighting the entire cage, dragging it so far that the winch and the ship gets dragged too. Oh my god. These niggas done brought back a evil ingenious shark. The Charlotte Hornets itching at the chance to recruit her right now as we speak. So Jonas Captain Save-A-Ho senses started tingling as he runs away and changes outfits in literal seconds. This nigga think he's Superman.
Within split seconds,
nigga, nobody else seen that? A bunch of niggas with no health insurance finna leave their kids and their grandkids in generational debt. And while the Meg is deep on the tank, giving bro a phenomenal time, Jonas is following the rope, but the Meg hits them with a Euro, turning the entire ship and eventually knocking Jax off of it. And the winch pulls the tank right out the Meg's mouth. This must be what they did to Lizzo. She went from obese to big. So while Jonas is trying really hard to save Su Yin because he trying to crush, niggas be doing anything in front of the hoes. Even bitches out here dancing for Duke Dennis. But meanwhile, Jax...
I know it. Y'all ladies out here really hop locking it in front of Duke. Y'all hitting. Y'all hitting one of these. That's cringe. That is. That's so cringe. No.
is beating on the ship and yelling at them to help her, not trying to be turned into chum bucket food. But eventually the rich guy throws out the rope while the Meg is coming and she misses again. Yeah, it's time for a different career path. She out there putting up Klay Thompson stats, about to hit an innocent in the head with a ball. So while the Meg is distracted, Jonas tries to get Su Yin out the water, but the crane falls in, which means like Rohan Murphy being thrown in the water next. As long as she's trapped inside, the cage will float straight to the bottom. Meanwhile on the ship, they use more of Aisha Curry's cooking to draw the Meg back to them, but clearly they don't know whose hood they in. She knows everything happening around there. Crackheads dancing on the corner, the bop up the street walking with the entire football team, and the difference between fresh food and something you couldn't pay me to eat. Swimming right past it, grabbing the rope with his body and swimming straight towards Su Yin and Jonas, but it gets caught in perfect timing, chomping at these boys, but it's bleeding out, and that makes them poison.
Like, okay, I get it. You're trying to back away underwater because at first it looked like it is you was trying to kick it, and I was about to be like, what you about to do? What you about to do here?
And set in even harder, making it pass out and eventually die. So now the fight is over. And so a few moments later, they are posted up with the Meg and they trolling, telling the Discord mod to put his head inside of it so that they could take a picture. Let's document this moment. And so DJ turns on a crane, making bro fall into the water. But meanwhile, Jonas is in the back like, hold up.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
This cannot be the same shark. The bite marks are different. I don't even know how he can tell the difference. They both straighter than James Charles. And man, right there, we should have known. Because meanwhile, the other Meg swims in, biting him and the smaller Meg, landing on the ship, throwing everybody overboard. So now we know that the black guy is definitely cooked. And this is where we find out that the entire time, that wasn't a female Meg. It was a male, specifically the mate of the male Meg. Shorty a cougar on some LaMelo Ball girlfriend type timing. But she
Okay.
have to eat, bro.
I should've never even fuck with you.
So eventually everybody makes it on top of a piece of scrap metal except for the doctor and Jax. And the whole repellent emanating from Heller's body must have been a signal for the Meg, because she starts coming right for them. And simply for no reason at all, he starts distracting the Meg to come eat him instead. She's not gonna let you hit, bro. And man, he just gets snatched up in one bite. But meanwhile, Jonas was in the back like,
Oh, man.
not even taking his death seriously. So after this, everyone makes it on their life raft, but it's still chasing after them. I'm crying. Why is this shark so determined for them to die? This that Batman type of work, putting niggas in wheelchairs for the rest of their lives over jaywalking. And the rich guy calls in the cavalry to, as he say, get payback. This is the same man who donated his money for these niggas to die. I be waving him in front of the Meg like he's a piece of meat instead. The military personnel tag the Meg but decide that's not good enough, pulling out a rifle, shooting at it. But even though it swims away, this clearly pissed it off even more. Meanwhile, on the other boat, Suyin father dies from this baby ass wound that we never even saw. Bro, if you don't get up, he just don't want to fight. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even blame him. I would have been doing my best in Frank impersonation too. I'm not fighting that thing. But we fast forward a little bit, and the rich guy tells all of his employees that all countries are aware of the Megs now and are now gonna kill them. But the thing was, he was lying. Bro just said that so he could do it himself on the low.
I know something you don't know.
Damn.
Okay, mysterious ass nigga. So now they go and find the new Meg, and they deploy charges, killing it and blowing it up, telling them to blow it up again. But bro telling them like, hey, he's dead, but he doesn't care. So they blow it up again. And as the camera pans up, we see why bro didn't want it to be blown up again, looking like he done caught the Diddy special. And for some odd reason, he goes to find the Meg and tells one of his mercenaries to go get the teeth from it, which was red flag number 1. And red flag number 2 was that all the other sharks are getting their Mickey Mouse eats in, and then out of nowhere they just leave, and they all standing around like, what the hell, you don't want free food? Until bro drops down and tells them that they didn't kill a Meg, they killed a whale, because like the crackhead down the street, it has no teeth. And he yells at them to get them the hell out of there. We done got bamboozled by a prehistoric shark again. He must have gotten rich how Antonio Brown did. And so bro hits the gas so hard he falls off the back of the boat, and they just leave him behind. This nigga got the worst security of all time. Jake Doherty finna hire them next. And y'all remember how I said this guy had them come in and shoot the Meg, and she took that personally? Well, she did. Coming in fast as hell, and he crawls on top of the whale thinking it's gonna save him, and she bites him. But when the camera pans, it showed that she took a mean chunk out of the whale instead. And as he celebrated his life like Conor McGregor while he can, just like Conor, he's going somewhere dark and lonely forever. As she comes through again, biting him, leaving only his hand on there. And he had on the Jordan 3s too. Them dorks at Cool Kicks pissed right now. Going to venture into the Meg's mouth for him. Need those. So fast forward a little bit, and now Mono 1 has to stop the Meg in its prime. Shorty done got a warm up and everything, and now it's headed to a densely populated beach, ready to go try some Asian food. And so the Meg takes her tractor off and wraps his body around the platform and starts dragging it so fast, making it bump into other people and drowning them too. Somebody call up Mike Vick, we need another animal dead. So now everybody is taking a deeper look in the ocean, realize
Sir, please. I beg it, please. That was insane. Wow. Okay.
it's a big ass shark in the water, and this sends everybody into a frenzy. Got niggas yelling shark in 3 different languages. Meanwhile, the Meg is down there waiting as it is, popping out of the water, biting 3 different rafts in seconds. Me personally, I'm bringing out fucking Black Boy Max. His stench would have put a stop to this immediately.
Wow. Well, my goodness.
And the guy running over everybody in the inflatable ball just gets eaten. But the Meg has that mamba mentality, going after the small group still left on water. Most of these boys out here got the Cookie Monster build. They didn't even waste time swimming away. But meanwhile, in a different part of the ocean, Mono 1 drops a machine that deploys whale sounds, and this makes the Meg go towards that instead. And I know she's thinking, thank God for it. I would have been chewing forever. And so a few moments later, the Meg shows up, going straight towards the machine, biting it, shutting that shit shit up. The equivalent of the whale sounds for the Meg would be like a human turning on a Kaizen stream. And because the Meg is face to face with the ship now, Jonas can't get a free shot without causing friendly fire to everybody on board. So the Meg turns around looking at him and he dips the hell out. So now he's trapped in a 1v1 with the Meg, type of place you don't want to be right now. She out here moving like the last Ronin, popping out and trying to bite Jonas but missing, and because he's so distracted he crashes into a wall, breaking the sub. But this was all just a fake out, cause Jonas leads the Meg right towards a propeller, but she dodges. Oh my god, they done resurrected Floyd Mayweather without his brain into the shark, and peeps in the background that she's about to get double teamed, leaving a bomb, sending everybody flying back. At this point, loot the entire damn island. So Suyin brings the Meg straight to Jonas, but his bomb doesn't go off, so now he's cooked as the Meg comes in, but he flips over. Got the Meg doing keepy ups with this man's sub, and we cut up to the sky, and because these two are distracted trying to get the angles right, two helicopters crash into each other, sending them tumbling down on the ship, making everybody jump off. So now the Meg has a bunch of Costco free samples in the water, and Jonas makes the executive decision to get the Meg the hell away from there, leading her away again. So while everybody is on the surface scared for their lives, Jonas is face to face with the real threat, taking off the headset and telling Suyin he wish he could have hit before he died.
Okay.
Going straight towards the Meg, flying up, faking her out, and flipping on the side, using the warp blade to cut her open from top to bottom.
What I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And she just smacks him away, but somehow she's still alive. She turns around, nibbling at the ship, eventually biting it, cracking a hole in the glass, and now water is filling up inside. So he puts on his oxygen mask as the Meg lets go and swims out, holding onto the ship, stabbing her with this baby ass knife. Yeah, my rocket launcher method isn't looking so crazy now, is it? And proceeds to start riding her like a damn bull. And in return for causing all of his friends PTSD, he decides to make her more and more relatable to Fetty Wap, stabbing her in the eye with the harpoon gun. So she swims all the way into the surface, and he pushes the harpoon deep in her eye, killing her mid-air, ending the fight. But just as she's about to wake up again, hundreds of sharks come down, feasting on her.
I'm leaving here with something.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Well, and for all intents and purposes, look, those are not my people. Do not say it is like, oh yeah, R, you need to go ahead. No, R ain't got nothing to do with that. I am a mermaid. That's not part of a fish. It is that's part of my team. And the right shadow. But Casper, thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. I'll catch y'all in the next video.
Oh, choosing tricks.